Guys, I'm Jim and this is Jim's Fix-It Shop, and we have another mini series. I had a viewer write in and say his snapper is not driving like it used to. It doesn't seem to go up the hills in his yard. Well, he's not talking about the big riders. What he's talking about is a walk-behind. And the snapper walk-behind that's self-propelled has a lot of the same parts the big riders do. Let me spin this camera around. I got mine up here on the bench and we'll show you what to look for and what to do if it's not driving like it used to. Okay, here's my snapper. It's an oldie, but it's not as old as the other one I have, which is a V series, like Victor. It's a casted aluminum deck and it's extremely heavy. This one is a stamped steel deck. It's a lot newer than my aluminum one. This is probably, I don't know, 30 years old. It does have a replacement engine on it. And it's got all the original drive on it. I haven't done anything to it. I probably should. It has a lot of the same parts. It's kind of hard to see. Here's your hex shaft. This is your clutch disc that slides on your hex shaft to give you different speeds. It has 1 through 5, I believe. You have a belt that comes out from under the engine. It goes around this idler that's spring-loaded, and it turns the drive disc. Back here, you can't really see it because of the... Let me see if I can turn this a little. You still can't see it very good. Back here is the differential, because this works just like the riders do. Both tires drive until you start to turn a corner. Then one kicks out and the other one drives. Now this belt that comes out from under the engine, I happened to notice when I got it cleaned up a little for this video, it's cracked almost in half. Now that's going to break pretty quick. There's another belt right here, which is pretty hard to see. Let me turn this around. Okay, we spun it around. This is your differential. This is the other belt that drives the differential. The clutch is always turning. All this is running whenever the motor is running. And to engage that, you got a lever up here on your handlebars you pull in and out. Now, one thing that could be a problem is there's bearings in this hex shaft on both ends. If them start to get wore out and bound up, that's going to steal some power from the engine that makes this thing turn. If your clutch disc gets worn, and this one's pretty bad, you can replace that. This spring, if that gets weak, that's going to give you a problem. This belt here, if that gets stretched out or worn, that's going to give you issues on your drive. So there's a few things you want to check to make sure that's working good. I don't know if I can lift this up. But you want to check the bearings underneath the drive disc. Make sure them are in good shape. But this is a lot easier to work on than the big riders. Inside the differential, I have never had this open. I've never had a problem with it. It just runs and runs. I have a rope on mine in case you're wondering. That's because I mow the ditch with it. So I just roll it down in the ditch and I pull it back out with the rope. Because if you pull it out with the handlebars, it tips it up and the blade doesn't cut anything. So I just roll it in and pull it out with a rope. This is my old beater. This is my blade. I just sharpened it. You can see this is a grind I put on them. Nice and smooth. And yes, this blade is shot. The airlift is just about gone. The end is wedged in real bad. But like I said, I mow the ditch with it. I don't suck leaves with this anymore because now I have a rider. But you can't, these are remarkable machines for sucking leaves, just like the riders are. Because you can get a factory blade that is drilled and allows you to put air lifts on it. The same ones that go on the rider. This is a brand new blade for this machine. And I did have a viewer ask me if you could put air lifts on a lawnmower that wasn't a high vac. I don't know. You'd have to find a blade that fits it, that's drilled for the high lifts or the air lifts, and you'd have to make sure you got clearance from where the blade mounts to the bottom of the deck so you're not rubbing on that. But if you can't find a blade and you try to drill this yourself to fit the air lifts, you've got to make sure you do them exactly the same on both sides. If you throw them air lifts off a 32nd of an inch, that's going to vibrate so bad. On a rider, it's not such a big deal. But on a walk behind, on the bottom of the engine, around the crank, is a rubber lip seal. And when these things start vibrating, you can ruin that lip seal. And that's the only thing that holds the oil inside your crankcase, is that lip seal. So you don't want to tear that out. But other than that, they're a pretty simple machine. I've had a lot of luck with this. Like I said, I've had this for almost 30 years. My aluminum V series, I bet I've had that for 45 years. And that has a new engine on it. It has an electric start. I mean, I just found a deluxe engine when I was looking at that company, and it was cheaper to buy the one with the electric start than the other one without the electric start. So I said, what the heck? We threw a little motorcycle battery on there and turned the key and away it goes. So if you have any other questions on these walk-behinds, put it in the comment box below, or send me an email at jimsfixitshop@gmail.com. and I'll be more than happy to help you out and get you going. Now I need subscribers. I'm trying to get some deals worked out with these part companies for my viewers and myself, but I need subscribers. If I'm pushing like 600. I'm thinking I'm going to need like 1,500 for them to even consider sponsorship. So do what you can, tell your friends, I don't care. Just get me some sponsors or some subscribers. And like I said, if you got any questions, just let me know. And if not, work safe, have fun, and I got to go mow. Talk to you soon.